Here we are, another miserable day driving in New York City in the rain. This really sucks. I'm getting sick of this shit. Pardon my French. It's just horrible. The traffic. It's just disgusting. It's getting worse and worse by the day. And Kathy Hochul wants to charge, well, she is charging tolls to come into Manhattan below 60th Street. Congestion pricing, they call it. Where's that money going? In somebody's pocket, that's for sure. Okay, another day, another dollar. Driving home in Manhattan, in the rain. I just had a chicken shawarma, which is apparently a big thing now. Oh, it's been a big thing for a while. They're everywhere in New York. And they're really good. But, you know, I ate in the car. And when you eat in the car, you make a mess. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about... I don't know what this video is about, to be honest. But do you guys think global warming is a real thing? Or do you think it's just, you know, some man-made BS so that they can charge more money for certain things? Because last night at my house, it was like 49 degrees outside. It's almost June. We're like a week away from June. In New York, it should not be 49 degrees. I had to put the heat on. So that's nuts. So, I don't know what's going on. Is it global warming? What the hell is it? I think it's global cooling. But anyway, here's Manhattan, which is what you really want to see. You don't want to see me and listen to me ranting about global warming. But it was cold, let me tell you. It was cold last night. So, I was freezing. Yesterday, in my last video, someone commented that I look like Truman Capote. Truman Capote, it was a great writer, as you probably already know. So, but in the looks department, I don't know. He wasn't really, you know, much to look at. He was kind of a weird guy. He spoke in a weird, high-pitched voice with that lisp that he had. But I took that as a compliment. We're on York Avenue and what is this? Maybe 74th Street, something like that. And I'm driving back in the rain. New York has turned to crap. It's just gotten so bad. And it doesn't look like it's getting better anytime soon. Which is really sad. You know, they really need to clean up this city. I was here, I've been here all my life, but I was here through Mayor Dinkins. I was very, very young. I think I was like a teenager. But I saw Mayor Dinkins, how the city ran down and got like really, really almost as bad as it is now. We didn't have the migrant problem with Mayor Dinkins, but it was just so bad. And then when Giuliani came in, now after Dinkins we had Koch, who was an entertaining guy, very colorful, but he really didn't do anything. But Mayor Koch, but he was a character, I'll say that much. But then after Koch we had I think I got the timeline correct. After Koch, we had Giuliani. And I know Giuliani is not that popular these days, but he really did a lot for the city. He really, really cleaned up Manhattan and all the boroughs with his quality of life laws. Times Square, which was the smut capital of the world, literally, it really was. Every 15 feet there was a peep show, live girls, prostitution, drug dealers, I mean, every inch of Times Square. You know, it was just everywhere. All the way from 6th Avenue all the way down to the Hudson River. It was just non-stop peep shows, topless bars, bathhouses, prostitutes, you name it. Whatever sexual thing they had, it was there. And that's all gone now. There's maybe one or two peep shows left, and they're kind of hidden away. So that was a good thing, I guess. Although, I don't know. I mean, I never went to those things. Don't misunderstand me. But the difference of the Times Square back then in the 70s, 80s, and even part of the 90s, the difference of that from then to today is today it's like Disney World. You walk down Times Square and it's nothing but tourists, souvenir shops, I Love New York t-shirts. It's just so fake. It's not real. It's not the real New York. As bad as it was in its heyday with the prostitution and the drugs and all of that, when it was the smut district, as bad as that was reality. You know, that was New York, and that was reality. And I think a lot of people came here to see that reality. But now it's a kind of a fakeness that is very unpleasant to experience. I mean, people come here from out of town and they go to Times Square. You know, a family flies in from Iowa or someplace like that, and they go walk through Times Square and they think, oh, this is New York. Look at this. Look at all the lights. But that's not really New York. That's a cheap plastic version of the real New York. So, and there's less and less of that. It's going extinct. It hardly exists anymore. There are still places in the East Village that kind of remain the same. Certain blocks, certain little enclaves of the bohemian lifestyle that's still there, but that too is basically gone. You know, Washington Square Park. I'm going to do a video in the East Village again, but this time I'm going to go over to Alphabet City. But Tompkins Square Park, not Washington Square Park. Tompkins Square Park, if you go there today, you see, ladies, very well-dressed ladies, walking poodles, pushing baby carriages. I mean, 30 years ago, you would not see that there. It was, there were tents, people living in tents in the park, and but not the same kind of homeless that you see today. It was a different kind of homeless. I think a lot of those people chose a lifestyle, and that's what they did. And there were a lot of burnt out buildings on Avenue B, Avenue C, even Avenue A. And people went in there, squatters went in there and just occupied those buildings. And then, I don't know under which administration this happened, which mayor or which governor did this, but they occupied those buildings. The neighborhood was so bad that the state or the city, I'm not sure which one, but the state or the city said, all right, we're going to sell you these buildings for $1. You've been squatting in them forever, but the deal is you have to fix them. You have to repair them. You have to make them livable. And they had a certain amount of time to do that. And that's what they did. That's what they did. It was a large Puerto Rican community in that area on the Lower East Side. That area, Avenue C, Avenue B, was more of the Lower East Side than it was the East. It wasn't really the East Village. It was the Lower East Side, Alphabet City. But then when prices went up, they thought, oh, we'll just call this the East Village. We could charge more. And that's what happened. But a lot of those people got those buildings, those brownstones, for $1. And they were very resourceful. The Puerto Rican people are very resourceful. They fixed everything. Carpenters in the family or, relatives, they put pipes in, they did this, they did that, they redid the whole buildings, the whole building. Pardon me, I can't talk. It was the hot sauce from the shawarma. They redid the buildings, they renovated them, they got the buildings for $1, and today those buildings are worth, millions with an S. So that was a good deal. I wish I had done something like that. But anyway, we're getting on the FDR Drive. I hate this road. I hate driving on this. I typically take the train into the city now rather than drive. It's just less hassle. So the thing about driving down here is, if you drive, you're kind of taking a big risk. Sometimes you're taking your life in your hands because these people drive like lunatics. Everybody's in a hurry to go nowhere. They're weaving in and out of traffic, speeding, tailgating. This is how accidents happen. So you're really taking your life in your hands. But taking the subway, you're also taking your life in your hands in a different way. So it's not that much better. But at least with taking the subway, you don't have to worry about your car as much, and you don't have to be on edge that much. You have to be aware of who's around you at all times. You have to have eyes in the back of your head. You have to have eyes in the back of your head. Oh, there goes the phone. I wonder who that could be. I don't know why the phone always rings when I'm in the middle of a video. It's so annoying. I'm going over the Willis Avenue Bridge. Is this the Willis? Yeah, the Willis Avenue Bridge. Willis Avenue. Maybe what I'll do today is, maybe I'll go a different way. Give you guys a different view of the neighborhood. Look at this. It's all backed up already. Jesus. Can't catch a break with this. It's like always heavy traffic. No matter what you do. No matter what. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. And it's backed up. I mean, it's crazy. I'm thinking I'm going to go up the Grand Concourse. Grand Concourse really was beautiful in its heyday. And you can really see, you can envision what it used to look like. But now we are in the Bronx. See the sign, welcome to the Bronx? It's such a treat, isn't it, to be here? Not. But here we are. This is the South Bronx. Those buildings on the right. You see there's new construction and then there's the old construction. They're actually building this area up quite a bit from what it was. Used to be, the Bronx was burnt out at one time. There was nothing here but the projects, which you see on your left. Hopefully you can see them. And then these tenement houses that you see on your right that are basically, you know, they were all burnt out at one time. Half of them. Half of the ones that are left standing. The Bronx is a borough of immigrants, as is all of New York City, really. There was a large Jewish population in the Bronx, and then we had a wave of Italian immigrants that came here, Irish immigrants that came here, and worked in Manhattan, lived here. Really the same thing with Queens. So New York City has always been a city of immigrants. You know, but back then people came, you know, they came legally the right way, and they got their papers, and they worked hard, and they built this city into what it is today. There's the phone again. That was a spam call. I get these. Does your phone ring all day too? My phone rings constantly. It'll probably ring 5 or 6 more times before the end of this video. It constantly rings. And you could always tell the spam. You pick up, you say hello, and you hear a little beep. And after the beep, you hear a lot of people talking. So it's what it is it's a call center. And they're calling from a call center, and because you answered the phone, now it actually gets routed to someone, and that's why there's a delay. They're not fooling me. Every time the phone rings, I have to stop the video, which is annoying because it makes it harder for me to put all this together in post-production. All right, let's see, where are we? What a neighborhood. 138th Street and Willis Avenue. You don't want to be walking around here at 3 o'clock in the morning. You don't want to be walking around here 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This is not good. Really take your life in your hands in these neighborhoods. And the problem, oh, now I got the cops coming. I have to yield. Go ahead. Probably going for donuts. So, no, I'm only kidding. I love the NYPD. Those guys are great. Problem is their hands are tied by the administration. Wow, look at that. Can you see? I'm going to turn the camera. I don't know if you could see that. Look at that old, looks like a church up there. Nah. Doing this in the car is very hard. Well, you're going to have to get the forward-looking view. There is some beautiful construction here that still remains. So right now I'm on East 138th Street in the South Bronx. So the problem is the projects, because there's a lot of drugs, a lot of gangs, a lot of crime in those project buildings. And that's just the way it is, and living around them can be a problem. So what is this? What building is this? It's very pretty. I can't read it. It's a church. Alexander Avenue and 138th Street. Once we get to the Grand Concourse, things move a lot quicker because that's a wide building, as it's called, the Grand Concourse. It's like the Park Avenue of the Bronx. This is some neighborhood. People have out-of-state. You see a lot of out-of-state plates, which is a sign of trouble, because if you live in New York, you should have your car should be registered in New York. I don't know where I am actually. Lincoln Avenue. Okay, I believe I make a left here to get up to the Grand Concourse. I see a guy on YouTube has a video. He's walking around, right around this neighborhood actually, late at night. No audio, he doesn't talk. Looks like he has a camera strapped to his chest, or I don't know if he's holding it, but he walks around late at night and he films all the characters. I can't think of the name of the channel, but the guy's very brave, I will say that. Walking around here with a camera any time of day is not a good idea. There's the dollar store. Now to my left, there's a lot of new construction up near the Grand Concourse. Okay, let's go, Virginia. See what I said about out-of-state plates? Although this guy looks legit. But a lot of these people with out-of-state plates, they're fake. They're forged, or they're stolen because they feel in New York, you know, the cops can't verify if the plate's real or not. Jesus. Oh boy. I'm telling you. What is this? I don't want to go back to Manhattan. I mean, I do. I'd rather go back to Manhattan than be here, but I gotta go to the right, I think. Look at the things I do for you people. For content. Normally I would not. Oh, I think I know where I am now. Yeah, make a right here. And this is the beginning of the Grand Concourse. I believe. I could be wrong. I think so. I think this is the beginning of the concourse. And these scooters are another problem. Everybody's walking around with these scooters, driving around. All these people on these scooters and these electric mopeds, whatever the hell they are, half of them are illegal. Oh, detour, turn right. Give me a break. What the hell? I didn't expect this to happen. Now I'm going around. This is Canal Place. I don't like driving around in very quiet, deserted areas. Too easy to get carjacked. I may sound like an alarmist, but I've been living in New York all my life. And I've seen a lot of shite go down. And I've managed to avoid being a victim for all of my life because I'm very much aware of what's around me, who's around me, who's behind me, who's looking at me in a funny way. My senses are very in tune with that kind of thing. And I believe that's kept me out of trouble. Just like the other day when I did that video. All right, this will go right into the Grand Concourse according to this. The other day when I did that video up by Poe's Cottage, I'm standing in the street reading a poem, and I see guys looking at me from all different angles, wearing full face masks where only their eyes are exposed. Anyone wearing a full face mask is a criminal, automatically guilty. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that offends you, but that's just the way it is. Normal people do not wear full face masks. So if someone's wearing a full face mask, they're hiding their face for a reason. Either they're wanted for something, or they're about to do something and they don't want their face seen. That's it. That's the only reason. You know, that virus that we had 5 years ago kind of normalized face masks. And that was really a bad thing. That was really a bad thing. I don't think there's no reason today for people to be wearing these face masks. I mean, yeah, every now and then there's a good reason for it. Someone's immunocompromised where a cold could, wipe them out. Okay. But that's the exception. That's not the norm. That's not everyone. All right, here we are at the beginnings of the Grand Concourse, 138th Street. There's a school to the left. You can't really see it. My grandmother went to that school in the 20s. I used to walk these streets when I was 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. We went to Catholic school in this neighborhood. When I was 12, 13 years old, my friends and I would cut school and ride the subway down to Times Square and walk around and look at the peep shows. When you're a teenager and you're a boy and the hormones are raging, that was like a thrilling thing to do. So those were crazy times. But we felt safe. We didn't feel, like we didn't feel it was dangerous or anything. We felt very safe. This is the beginnings of the Grand Concourse, so we're at the bottom. This runs all the way from 138th Street up to, I believe, 210th Street, that area. Hostos Community College. They came here about 20 years ago. And the neighborhood actually improved with them coming here. I think because of, it brought in jobs. It brought in education, which is badly needed in places like this. Here's 149th Street. See the post office on the right? That's the hub. They call that the hub. I've been in that post office. It's got some beautiful architecture. It's really beautiful inside. But that post office is where David Berkowitz used to work. The son of Sam, the .44 caliber killer in the, I guess that was the late 70s. To the right is Cardinal Hayes High School. The Pope John Paul came here in the late 70s, visited that school. And to my left is Franz Siegel Park. Now this neighborhood here, we're getting into an area that was very, very Jewish at one time. So I grew up in the Bronx, and my grandparents used to say, oh, the Jews live up on the Grand Concourse. They have a lot of money. And, the Irish and the Italians, they didn't have much money. They lived further down, like 3 or 4 avenues off the concourse. Which, in a way was true, because the concourse was the most expensive part of the Bronx back in the 40s, the 30s, the 40s. The 50s. The Grand Concourse was very expensive. So that actually was true. They said they used to say that the Grand Concourse is the Park Avenue of the Bronx. And that is true. You can look at it and see it does resemble Park Avenue. As we go further up, the buildings are, become very beautiful with great architecture. You have the median in the middle, dividing northbound and southbound traffic. Very, very similar to Park Avenue. Now we're approaching on the left the Bronx County Courthouse. This is where the worst of the worst are on trial. I'm tilting the camera over so you could see it. But that's the Bronx County Courthouse coming up here on the left. And that always helped, having that courthouse here always helped to maintain this neighborhood, because you know, you have judges, lawyers, judges, people working in the courthouse. So they had to make sure the neighborhood was safe. And 4 blocks behind the courthouse lies Yankee Stadium. Another reason to keep this neighborhood safe with a strong police force, because, you know, the last thing you want is people going to the ball game and getting robbed and having crime, because that would hurt the revenue of the stadium. People would be afraid to come here. So there she is, the Bronx County Courthouse. Public defenders are very busy in that building, because the majority of people here don't hire lawyers, they just use a public defender. I wonder, let's do a wider angle so you can see it all. So you can see it's kind of a grand avenue, which is why they call it the Grand Concourse. I'm pushing buttons. I hope I don't turn the video off for some reason. Oh, I almost hit that car. I should watch what I'm doing. Instead, I'm focused on the video. That's not good. Okay. Trying to adjust the camera so you're not looking at the hood of my car and you're looking at the scenery. So this is you have 2 lanes in the middle and a lane on the right on each side. So it's a 6-lane. It's a 6-lane road. And of course, there's so many of these signs, which you can't see on the left. I see one: injured, call, blah, blah, attorney at law. I guess people in this neighborhood have a lot of personal injury claims. I don't know why. You know, I with my chicken shawarma, I needed something to wash it down, so I got a Coke, a can of Coke. I just took a sip, and I got a funny aftertaste in my mouth. So I looked closely at the can. It's Coke Zero. Can't stand Diet Coke. Ugh, it's disgusting. I don't know how anyone could drink that. It's still 55 degrees in New York. It's almost June. Next week is June. Monday is Memorial Day. Isn't the Grand Concourse beautiful? It is beautiful. It is. If you don't look at, you know, the bad parts and just look at the trying to be tactful, you know, if you just look at the architecture, don't look at the people, look at the architecture, and just imagine 75 years ago what this was like. And when I say don't look at the people, what I mean is everyone is like, you know, everyone is dressed so drab, and everyone's got an angry look about them. Everyone looks depressed. No one looks happy. Nobody looks happy in these neighborhoods. Well, she's happy. She's got some kind of a drink there. But nobody looks happy in these neighborhoods. In these bad, in these rough neighborhoods. No one looks happy. Everyone looks angry. That's one thing about driving through the hood. Everyone looks angry. And everyone is angry. And it doesn't take much to get into a fight. If you look at someone the wrong way, they want to have a fight with you. It's kind of sad. Life is short and death is sure, so be happy. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. Here's an old synagogue. I wish I could, when I try to turn, I really need to master this camera, because when I turn it to the left, it readjusts and looks straight ahead. But anyway, there's an old synagogue on the left that's no longer a synagogue. It's a Baptist church now. But the temple, synagogue, the writing is carved into the stone. So it's still there. I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna handhold this camera a little bit. Watch me crash. This is a road where you really need to have your wits about you. I'm trying to, I want to show you some of the architecture, because pretty soon we're going to be coming up to Loew's Paradise Theater. Probably one of the most famous movie theaters in its heyday. I don't think it's a movie theater anymore. But in its heyday, one of the most famous movie theaters in New York City. The place drips with grandeur. The inside, it was a huge theater. Huge. We used to go there when I was a kid. In fact, when the movie Jaws came out, my parents took us here, and the line wrapped around the block. It was a hot summer day, and the line literally went around the block to get in. And you're always afraid, we were afraid that what if we get up to the window to buy the tickets and they're sold out. Those were the good old days. That was something that builds a memory that I still remember to this day. When you go on Netflix and you watch a movie, or you go on Amazon Prime and you download a movie to watch, are you going to remember that in 30 years? Oh wow, I remember that movie, and no, because there's no, I don't know how to put it into words, but we lost so much with the digital age. Nobody goes to movies anymore. There's, people just wait. Everything comes on Amazon or Netflix or DVD or whatever. Hello. I'm actually driving and hand-holding this, which is probably illegal. We're approaching, we should be getting close to Fordham Road. Okay, I see you. Really got to keep your eyes open here. People drive like lunatics. Look at that sky. Is it going to clear up? I don't think so. Ambulances everywhere. Probably people ODing. Here's a red light. Let's see, Burnside Avenue. Okay. Let me give you a different view from the side. Oh, that's good. I should mount the camera in my driver's side window. Yeah, so the days of going to the movies and, first there's the anticipation. Jaws is coming out. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. Scheduled to be released in the summer of 1977. You usually know about it 6 months ahead of time. So you got all that anticipation. And then when it's set to be released, what do? You get the newspaper and you go to the movie section and you see what theater it's playing in. What times, what theater. I mean, this was all part of the experience of motion pictures. That's all gone. It's all gone. Now, everyone wants to consume content in quantity. We all do it. You watch 3-4 movies on a Sunday, Amazon Prime, whatever cable you have. I don't have cable, but whatever cable service you have, you got the movie channel or Netflix. People just want to consume content now. It's no more about quality, it's quantity. That's what we've come down to. Quantity. More. Whereas in an era that's no longer around, it was all about the experience. It was the anticipation. And then the experience of going to the movie. And then the fear of maybe I won't get tickets. Is it going to be a huge line? The popcorn. It all went hand in hand. It's really sad that that's gone. I think Loew's Paradise Theater is coming up. We're getting close to it. Such a beautiful movie theater. It's the statuary in that theater. In fact, before I post this video, I'm going to go online and see if I can find some of the older photos of the theater so I can post for you. But yeah, it was just such a good experience. All right, there's the theater in the distance. Let's see if I can zoom in. This DJ Osmo, I'm not that impressed with it, I'll be honest with you. But there's the roof of it. You can still see the big urns up there on the roof. I think the name is still there in red letters. We're going to go by it. I'll try to go as slow as I can without getting rear-ended. And then across the Grand Concourse, straight ahead to the right, you see that clock? That's the old Sears building. And that was the Sears clock. Looks like the clock is still working. 2 o'clock, that's what it is now. That's a miracle in and of itself. Red light, everyone's inching forward to go. Okay, here we go. Maybe I'll get the light at the corner so you can see the theater. You're not going to get much of a view. There it is. The Loews Paradise Theater. Can you see it? You couldn't really see it. I'm sorry. I tried. I will post photos tonight. I tried. It's very hard, and it's hard driving and doing this, and it's even harder. It's even harder with this DJ Osmo. I'm not that thrilled with it, I'm telling you. I'm not that thrilled with this camera. I've had better. I've had better. Wow, that camera's really hot. Okay, let's go. Get this show on the road. We're getting up to the top of the concourse now, 192nd Street. Maybe I'll do a video next of the Bronx's Little Italy. So to my right is where Edgar Allan Poe's cottage is. We're not going back there. I'm lucky I got out of there alive last time. East Kingsbridge Road, Grand Concourse. So this is called the Bedford Park section of the Bronx. Was very Jewish in its heyday. This was one of the last areas to really turn and become not so good anymore. The Grand Concourse ends in maybe half a mile from here, and then it dumps us into Jerome Avenue, which is a short ride, and then we wind up. Trouble speaking today. We wind up by the Woodlawn Cemetery. So I might as well keep this going until it overheats. You know, this would be a good ASMR video. ASMR, I was reading about that the other day. People watch video, and I do the same thing. People watch videos at night to put them to sleep. So you can put me on if you like, and leave me on all night. But yeah, people watch a lot of YouTube videos. There's certain videos that just help them fall asleep. And I'm guilty of this too. So I watch YouTube almost exclusively. I'll watch a movie on Netflix here and there. I'll watch a movie on Amazon Prime. Sometimes I'll rent. If I really want to see something, I'll pay I won't pay the $20. When a movie first comes out on Amazon, it's $20. But I'll pay the $5 to rent the movie. Why not? I'll do that. But for the most part, 95% of the time, I'm on YouTube at night. And, you know, I watch a whole variety of different things. And usually I end up falling asleep with the television on. And I wake up in the morning and it's still on somebody's YouTube channel, because it's like a loop. It'll just play another video and another video and another video of whatever YouTube thinks you're interested in. And it's on something that I would normally never watch. So the algorithm's not 100% correct. But yeah, I'll wake up in the morning and it's still going. And I thought to myself the other day, wow, I'm really helping out a bunch of creators by giving them a lot of watch hours. But then it's really not watch time, it's sleep time. I'm sleeping and I just happen to leave the television on. East 204th Street, Grand Concourse. I feel like I'm a train conductor announcing the stops. Do you like the video? If you like it, let me know. Leave a comment. I love comments. I love hearing what you guys think. You know, I do enjoy it. I do enjoy all the comments. And I read them all, and I try to respond to all of them. Even the nasty ones. Every now and then someone leaves a nasty comment. But that's okay. Bad reviews are better than no reviews. That's how I look at it. I think it stopped raining, so we can turn off the windshield wipers. up to the left, and I don't know if you could see this again, but up to the left, I'm trying to give you a view, but it's so hard with this camera to point it at something. It just seems to want to go look straight ahead, no matter what direction I point it in. It's not going to work. You'll see it further up. But there are these two buildings called Tracy Towers. Crime-ridden building. I think you can see them towards the left. Crime-ridden buildings. Never been safe. Even when I was a little kid, we knew. Don't go into Tracy Towers, whatever you do. They just look, and they have a look. They look like, they just have an imposing look. They're very dark colored brick. They just don't look right. Can you see them? They're right straight ahead of you. Oh, let's see. Let's see if I can show them to you. Yeah, they're ahead of you. Yeah, you see them. They're right there. That's Tracy Towers. That's the base of them. But yeah, they're not, they've always had high crime. I don't know if those are public housing. I really have no idea. I can't believe how hot this camera is. If the camera turns off, if my video disconnects abruptly, you know what happened. The camera overheated. This is one of my longest videos. And this was very impromptu. As you can tell, I don't have really a main talking point. The main point of this video is the Bronx. That's the main point. But, you know, if you live in Missouri, I suppose this is interesting. So now we're under the L. Now the camera's pointing the wrong way. All right, now we got it. We're under the train, under the L. We call this the L, these elevated subway lines. And the reason they call them the L is because they're elevated. So in New York, we call them the L. I never did like it down here. But back in the day, there was a lot of shopping, a lot of little shops under here. A lot of Jewish stores, you know, a bagel store, and then you'll have a kosher meat market, things like that. That's all gone. That's all gone. There's no more Jewish people in this area. So that is no more. Now you have, I don't know what you have here. You have Dollar Pizza, cell phone. There's a Subway. God, Subway. Fish markets, lots of fish markets. There's a Burger King. There's an H&R Block. Yeah. Jerome Avenue. 99-cent deal store. Everything's 99 cents. I don't know how that could be. I'm going to take you to the Yonkers line, the Yonkers border, which is like maybe 5 minutes, 5 more minutes, and then we'll wrap this thing up because I don't really have anything else to say. My next video, I will have a topic, I promise. So what happened this week, I got completely messed up. I had a colonoscopy on Monday, and I had to do the prep on Sunday. And the anxiety leading up to the prep started last week, Thursday. So I just got way behind. I haven't been able to really, I wasn't able to get a video out. So I videotaped my colonoscopy prep and post colonoscopy, which I'm still waiting for results, biopsy results, but the doctor said I shouldn't worry about it. He doesn't think it's anything, so hopefully I get a phone call today from him. Anyway, so that colonoscopy really threw me for a loop, and I wasn't able to get a video out. So I did the colonoscopy video yesterday, and I'll post this video tomorrow, which is Thursday, and then I'll have a surprise video on Friday, fingers crossed. So to my left, coming up to my left, and your left, because you're watching this, I believe it's your left, is Van Cortlandt Park. And it's highly guarded here, high fences, because that's where the water line runs through, the main water from the reservoirs upstate, New York City drinking water. I believe it runs through here, so it's a high security area, which it should be. When I was a kid, these reservoirs, we used to play around the reservoir. There was no security. But it was a different time. People didn't have nefarious intentions back then. Most people were decent people, were good people. The country was very innocent. And things started to change in the late 90s, early 2000s. Why? I don't know. You tell me, but it's a different country and a different world these days. I can't blame that on AI, I guess. So this is the last stop on the 4 train. The Jerome Avenue line is the 4 train. I've ridden these subways all my life. So the Jerome Avenue line is the 4 train. This is the last stop, Woodlawn, the Woodlawn station. To the right is Woodlawn Cemetery, where most of my family is buried, or in mausoleums in there. To the right is Woodlawn Cemetery. To the left is Van Cortlandt Park. And we're heading into Yonkers soon. Another couple of minutes, we'll have crossed over the border from New York City, and we will be in Yonkers. Yonkers is really mostly people who moved up from the Bronx when the neighborhoods started changing and getting rough. People were forced out and they moved up here. Years and years ago, not lately. I would say that started probably in the 80s. People started leaving the Bronx and moving up to Yonkers because of the crime. It just became very unsafe in the Bronx. Hopefully it turns around someday. The Bronx really is a beautiful borough, and I would like to see it turn around. So we're on the service road to the New York State Thruway. And any minute now we are going to enter Yonkers. And this section of Yonkers is very Irish. And I don't mean like second, third generation Irish. I mean like fresh off the boat from Ireland. Thick Irish brogues, Irish bars. A lot of them still speak Gaelic. All right, this is the line right here. We're going to cross the line. Coming up. Okay, here we are. Boom, right here. Now we're in Yonkers. Goodbye, New York City. until tomorrow, goodbye anyway. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoy making these. If you like the video, please leave a like button. Please subscribe to the channel. As long as people keep watching, I'll keep making more and more videos. And the videos are getting, I think they're starting to get a little more interesting. I'm getting better at editing video. Even though my background is in photography, I've never really experimented with video before. So this is all something new to me. So until tomorrow, I will say have a good day and subscribe, please. It helps me out. See you tomorrow. Peace out.